We are now the day after Super Thursday, in the words of Joe Biden, presidential candidate for the Democratic Party. It looks like he probably will take the nomination at this point. Bernie Sanders, or should I call him Bernie Schwartz? That was the head of Loral, given the fact that Bernie is a self-hating Jew and doesn't want to admit it. Given the fact that he has endorsed, in effect, Fidel Castro, has trashed Israel and Prime Minister Netanyahu, he has apparently shot himself in the foot. It appears that the socialist / in reality, communist Bernie Sanders will not be the nominee of the Democrat Party. But we will have Joe Biden, and he's more than sleepy Joe Biden. Frankly, he's a dishonest crook. He's engaged in a bribery scandal with regard to the Ukraine. You can bet that the Republican Party has a big file of opposition research on him. But the Republicans usually screw it up. They don't have the guts to go for the jugular. The president does, but the rest of them don't. And Joe Biden, make no mistake about it, is going to give the president a run for the money when it comes to the election in 2020. If for no other reason than the American people are generally uneducated. Joe Biden has a Cheshire grin smile. People think he's a nice guy. He's not a nice guy. He's probably the dumbest president since George W. Bush and Gerald Ford. I mean, that's a reality. Now, I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I will tell you that we're going to be seeking justice at Freedom Watch against Joe Biden and Larry Klayman in his personal capacity. I have a case pending in Palm Beach County in Florida, where Joe Biden and his henchmen, and Hunter Biden is in that case too. In fact, he's in default. He didn't even respond to the complaint. Joe Biden's half-wit son. Perhaps he's back, inebriated or something to that effect. I don't know, but why would you not respond to a complaint is beyond belief. But the reality here is that this is a very powerful case, even though it deals with Freedom Watch's YouTube channel, which I appear on frequently. And Joe Biden, his campaign, interfered with Google and YouTube when I was critical of him months back with regard to the Ukraine, and when I said we were going to commission citizens' grand juries to have him indicted, later tried, convicted, sentenced, and carry out those sentences peacefully and legally. Hopefully the president will do it. If not, we'll find another way peacefully and legally to do it. It's time that the people took matters into their own hands legally, because the Attorney General of the United States, Bill Barr, is a fraud, no less a fraud than Jeff Sessions was. He's doing nothing. He creates the appearance of doing something, but in the end, these people in Washington, D.C. protect their own interests. They don't want to rock the boat. In the case of Bill Barr, he doesn't want to be held in criminal contempt for things that he's done in the past. Not that any judge would, because they all protect each other, but still, he's a scaredy cat, as the rest of them are, and he's subject to potential impeachment since he was actually confirmed. So he didn't want any aggravation. So what he does is he throws the red meat out every now and then. We're doing this, we're doing that. He sends his surrogates on to Hannity on Fox News. Justice is just around the corner. How many times have you heard that from Hannity? I frankly don't understand why his ratings are that high. I mean, maybe that's a function of the lack of education of people. Maybe it's because they want to be perpetual optimists. I don't fault the people that watch Hannity, but I do urge them to turn it off and to do something, to join Freedom Watch's Justice League. Roll up your sleeves and help us get to work. If you want to volunteer, you can reach us at larryklayman@gmail.com or anything else to that effect that you'll find on the website. But here's what we're doing. I mean, we are actually taking Joe Biden on and his son, Hunter, head on in a court of law. And the judge takes it seriously. We're going to have an hour-long hearing on April 13th about this case. Because, you see, a presidential candidate can't be interfering with YouTube and Google. What Biden did was to get all of our YouTubes taken off of Google and YouTube. It's unbelievable. I mean, the guy can't take criticism. And this is something which you have to be able to do if you're a political candidate. I ran for the U.S. Senate in 2003, 2004 in Florida. I know what it's like. I took the heat. And consequently, we need to expose who Joe Biden is, to peel away the veneer. Because, and I'll tell you something in a nonpartisan sense, This guy is as dangerous as George W. Bush. I mean, George W. Bush got us into the Iraq War, which effectively continues today, including in Afghanistan. And, forget about this peace deal with the Taliban. The Taliban isn't going to adhere to any peace deal. We'll be there for another 20 to 30 years, believe me. And so consequently, to have somebody like that in there who can't even remember where he is from day to day. He got his wife and his wife's sister confused yesterday on his victory speech on Super Thursday, he puts it. This is somebody who would be extremely dangerous as president, and we need to then expose at this point so people can see who to vote for in this election, that they're voting for somebody that can actually protect this country in various situations. Joe Biden is a prostitute. Joe Biden will go with the flow. Whatever he has to say, he will say. And if he hasn't thought of it, he'll plagiarize somebody else's thoughts, which he's been caught doing on several occasions, including by the Washington Post. So I want you to support what I do at Freedom Watch and what I do in my private capacity. It's not just for Larry Klayman. We got our YouTubes reinstated. I had to threaten Biden's lawyers at Williams & Connolly, not coincidentally, the lawyers of the Clintons as well. And we will press on here with our citizens' grand juries. We will hold the Bidens accountable. We will hold the Comeys, the McCabe's, the Orrs, the Lovebirds, Strzok, Page, the Obamas, the Clintons, Brennan, Clapper, the intelligence czars who violated our constitutional rights. We will do all of these things. But most importantly, we, the American people, must rise up and protect ourselves. We cannot become couch potatoes and just watch Fox News or CNN or MSNBC, whether you're right or left or center. We must do it for ourselves. And that's the answer. So join our Justice League at freedomwatchusa.org. Contribute to our cause. Tax-deductible contributions. We're small, but we need to get bigger. What we do today at Freedom Watch is what I used to do at Judicial Watch. Hard-hitting cases, lawsuits, not just Freedom of Information Act requests, not just a deposition every now and then with regard to getting documents, but holding people accountable under the rule of law in cases where it can hurt legally and peacefully. And that's important. And we do, from time to time, get good judges. I find state court judges to be today much more responsible and reliable than the federal court judges, who are, by and large, very politicized, don't want anything in their courtroom that could affect their future appointment to a higher position by either party. But yes, we will fight, and we will fight in state court where judges are elected, and if they don't do their job, they can be removed. So I want to thank you for all the support that you've given to Freedom Watch and me. And before that, when I ran Judicial Watch, I want you to rise up. I want you to wage a second American revolution peacefully and legally. I want you to join our Justice League. I want you to share this podcast that I do each day, and also my radio show, Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman, which is weekly. You can find it at radioamerica.com, at freedomwatchusa.org, at iTunes, at Spotify, at Patreon, on Amazon Fire, on Roku. Please share it as far and wide as you can, because thank God we have a Radio America that allows me to tell the truth to the American people as I see it. If you agree with me, join our cause. Until then, God bless you, God bless your family, God bless America, and of course, God save America. We must be one nation under God. And I will come back with another podcast tomorrow on Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. Until then, thank you.
This is no ordinary sub shop. This is Firehouse Subs.
Welcome to Firehouse.
Tired of overpriced lunches that underdeliver on flavor? Head to Firehouse Subs, where for a limited time you can get a $4.99 choice sub. Choose from a medium smoked turkey, Virginia honey ham, or roast beef. They're custom-made hot subs at a price ready-made to make you smile. Just $4.99, only at Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives. Participating locations plus tax, limited time offer. Prices may vary for delivery.